Hi everyone. Today let us discuss about the backpropagation learning in multi-layer perceptron. I have already given this diagram in the PPT lecture. So throughout this backpropagation learning, we will make use of this diagram. This diagram is nothing but consisting of one or more number of hidden layers. Also it consists of the input layer which has the value x1 x2 up to xd, and it is weighted with the weight vector, so that was given by the vector w, and xi is the ith sample out of n number of sample. Xi has the component x1 x2 up to xd, and then 1 is included in order to augment this feature vector. And this weight vector is given in terms of vector which is represented as w, and consider there are totally capital K number of layers, and the input layer is represented as 0 because it is simply passing the given input signal to the next layer. So let us consider that the input layer is at the 0th layer. The next level to the next layer to the input is represented as layer 1, which is nothing but starts from the hidden layer at the 1th layer. Hidden layer and the next layer, if there are more than one number of hidden layers, it can be represented as 2, 3 and so on, and any intermediate hidden layers can be represented as small k, and capital K is nothing but the total number of layers out of these multi-layer perceptron, and K represents that the total number of layers in the multiple perceptron or consisting of multiple layers. The output, since K is the total number of layer, that could be the last layer, which is also known as the output layer. So the output layer can be represented as K. The output of any neuron can be represented as OJK. OJK is nothing but the output of the jth neuron of kth layer. If there are C number of classes, there could be C number of neurons in the output layer. So J represents one neuron or jth neuron out of the C number of neurons, and these one are nothing but include the bias. Other than this input layer, every hidden layer consisting of a bias node which is represented as 1 here. And let us also assume mk denotes the number of nodes in the kth layer. For example, here this is the kth layer, the number of nodes is here, let us represented 3. So the total number of nodes in the kth layer where mk is, the value of mk is 3 here, which represents the number of nodes in the kth layer. So with this architecture as a base, let us understand how to update the weight vectors as we discussed in the single layer single output perceptron and single layer multiple output perceptron. And here note down, in case of single layer single output and single layer multiple output, there since there are only one layer which is nothing but the output layer, there could be only one weight updation rule which was updated from the output layer to the previous layer. But here there are k number of layers. We have to update the weight vectors separately. One is from the output layer to the previous layer, which is k minus 1th layer. So there could be a weight updation rule or weight updation factor between the output layer and the previous layer, which can be represented as capital K minus 1. And before that, the hidden layer starts. So the weight updation rule from k minus 1 to k minus 2 starts the weight updation rule at the hidden layer. So there could be two weight updation rule. One is the output layer the other one is at the hidden layer. So let us discuss these two things separately. Now let us discuss here how to update the weight or how to backpropagate the error from the output layer to the previous layer, which is k minus 1. Now with this, now let us take this diagram, which this diagram is same as I have given in the PPT lecture. So now let us understand the terminology, because this terminology we are going to use shortly. So if we take any layer, let us represent it as small k, and then the next layer next to kth layer can be represented as capital K minus 1. The Wij represent, Wij is the connection weight between the kth layer to the k plus 1th layer. Okay, for example, here we have not mentioned W1k or Wij. Since it goes to the k plus 1th layer, I can write it as W1j k plus 1. Similarly, W2j k plus 1, because it is the weight connecting from k to k plus 1th layer. So where the weight vectors connecting, that can be represented as a superscript. And between what and what? Between the ith neuron in the kth layer and jth neuron in the k plus 1th layer. So it can be represented as Wij. Okay. And given this, since every node in the kth layer is connected to every node in the jth layer, but let us consider only one node as of now. Let us consider the jth layer one node. Since it is getting connection from every node in the previous layer, let's say k layer, the weight which is connecting from k to k plus 1 can be represented as W1j k plus 1, W2j k plus 1, and so on. So when we take the output of the jth neuron in k plus 1th layer, let us represent it as xj k plus 1. So obviously xj k plus 1 can take the value of this form. So the value of this form, let us consider the weight vector which is connecting between the k to k plus 1th layer. So Wij k plus 1, the weight connecting between I to j, and superscript where the connection goes. So k plus 1th layer, and the input of each of these neuron is considered multiplied by xik, where xik is nothing but the output of the ith neuron in the kth layer. Because these things similarly computed like this from the previous layer. So now let us represent it as xik, where it is getting the input from the input as the previous layer. Now let us consider this is the output of the ith neuron in the kth layer that goes as an input to the jth neuron in the k plus 1th layer, and take a linear combination of this, and the summation ranges from 0 to mk. How many number of nodes? There are mk number of nodes. As I have discussed here, mk represents the total number of nodes in the kth layer. If this k is a small k, then that small k is nothing but the hidden layer between 1 to k minus 1. Okay, so the summation varies from I0 to mk. So 0, that includes bias, which is represented as 1 as before. Then x1, x2, x3. How many number of i's are there? There are mk number of neurons in the kth layer, which can be represented as mk, multiplied by Wij k plus 1 into xik. And this will be the output that we obtain here. So let me represent it as once more. Summation of Wij k plus 1 into the input of each neuron. The input of each neuron can be represented as, let's say, I ranges from 0 to mk, xi, and then k. Okay. and this ranges from 0 to mk, where k is the small k is the kth layer or one of the hidden layer, you can say. And after taking the summation, we have to apply a nonlinear function f. Here I have represented as r, both are same, we can represent it as small f also, and take a nonlinear function that will be the output of the jth neuron in the k plus 1th layer. So these are the terminology. With this terminology, let us discuss how to update the weight, between the output layer and the previous layer, which is capital K and capital K minus 1. Now before going, let us take this. This is the output of the ith neuron in kth layer, and this is the connection weight between kth layer neuron and k plus 1th layer neuron. And this I'll keep as such. Whenever we need, we can refer this. Now let us go for the update the weight at the output layer. So for this, let us consider this diagram. So as before, if you can recall how to update the weight between the single layer multiple outputs, the procedure remains same here as well. So now we have to consider the weight updation between the kth layer, which is the output layer, and the previous layer, which is k minus 1. Now let us discuss this procedure or this derivative, and then we can go for k minus 1 to k minus 2, capital K minus 2. Here I have represented any k, but let us assume if this is capital K minus 2, this weight updation rule, where this k minus 2 is one of the hidden layer, we will see this procedure in the next. Now given this, let us proceed. So what is this OJK? OJK represent the output of the jth neuron in the capital K output layer. So let me write OJK, output of jth neuron in K, capital K means kth layer, and then OJK is a what type of nonlinear function that we will make use of it. As we discussed, we will make use of a sigmoidal function as a nonlinearity. So OJK is make use of sigmoidal function as a nonlinear function. Okay, with this I can write like this, but let me rephrase that. So the output of jth node in the kth layer can go summation of, okay, the weight connecting between Wij, what is k? The weight connection goes between from k minus 1 to k. So Wij k multiplied by what is the weight or the input to these individual ith neuron in the k minus 1th layer, that can be represented as xi into k minus 1, capital K minus 1, which is nothing but the previous to the output layer. So we can write something like this, and this I ranges from 0 to, okay, all these nodes, because the weight connecting from all these nodes to the one particular jth node in the output layer. So 0 to m capital K minus 1 from the previous layer, and then the total apply some nonlinear function f. Okay, but since this input is nothing but the output obtained similarly from the previous layer, now instead of taking xi k minus 1, I can replace simply this as oi k minus 1. Okay, Now we will make use of this oi k minus 1 in my derivative function. This is nothing but the output of the ith neuron in the k minus 1th layer. This was obtained from its previous nodes or previous layer, the same way as we obtained like this. So since it is represented as oj capital K, we can represent it as this as oi capital K minus 1. So oi capital K minus 1. This and this now same, but we will make use of this capital oi K minus 1 instead of xi K minus 1. So what is this? This is nothing but the output of ith neuron, okay, ith neuron in capital K minus 1 layer. If we take a sigmoidal, for example, if we take this nonlinear function as sigmoidal as an activation function, so we will also call this as an activation function, then we can write this ojk as, recall that sigmoidal will take of the form 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus sigma. So if we replace this as a nonlinear function, now this ojk we can write it as, so let me rewrite ojk, a nonlinear function, summation of I equal to 0 to mk minus 1 k minus 1 wij k into oi k minus 1. Okay, so this, if we take this as a sigmoidal nonlinear function, I can rewrite this oj, I can rewrite this as oj k, okay, in sigmoidal form 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power, if it is sigma, we replace 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus sigma. So the same form we are writing ojk 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus theta j subscript and then superscript k. Okay, recall that in sigmoidal function what we have done, 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus sigma. Okay. And this will take, okay, where, so what is where theta jk, so the theta jk is nothing but the output obtained, summation, okay, so the output obtained after taking the nonlinear function mk wij k into oi k minus 1, same thing, okay. So without nonlinear function, where theta j is nothing but only the summation factor, I ranges from mk minus 1 wij into the output obtained from the previous layer. Okay, fine. So now let us proceed. So if we take the sigmoidal function, we can rewrite something like this, and where theta jk can be written as follows. Then so what we have to do, we have to set the error function, okay. Then the error function e can be defined as follows. So what is the error function? Because we know what is the expected output at the output layer, okay, which is also denoted as target value, which is tj. So the difference between the actual output and the expected output or the target output is the error. So we can set the error function e as e equal to the difference OJK minus TJ. What is TJ? TJ is the target output, and we have to take the sum of squared error. J ranges from 1 to MK. MK is nothing but the total number of neurons in the capital Kth layer, and Tj is nothing but the target output, and then we have to take the summation, sum of squared error, and then take 1 by 2 for the mathematical convenience. So what is this? This is nothing but the actual output of the kth layer, and this is nothing but the target output at the capital Kth layer. And Mk, what is Mk? Mk is nothing but the number of nodes in kth layer, capital Kth layer, so capital K. Okay, so once we define this error function, now as usual we have to update the weight vectors, which is Wij, by taking the derivative error function, taking the derivative E with respect to Wij. So we have to take using the gradient descent procedure. Now we have to, what we have to do? Dou E by dou Wij. Why? Because the output that we have obtained, OJK, is nothing but the function of Wij. So once we take this with respect to Wij, then we can derive this weight updation rule. So what we are supposed to do is take this error function and take a partial derivative with respect to the weight vector Wij. But Wij is the weight vector that takes, okay, weight vector from the between what? So this weight updation rule, we have to update these weights first. So from where it is connecting? So here it is K plus 1th layer. Since we are discussing between, look at this diagram, since we are discussing the weight updation rule between the output layer and the previous layer, Wij capital K. So we have to update these weight first, so which can be represented as Wij capital K. Okay, now we cannot take a derivative with directly Wij, since E is, this error function is not related to Wij directly. So we have to solve this derivative using chain rule. So the chain rule for this is, since the error function dou E depends on dou OJK, okay, this is OJK. So now if we take, so this is the error, actual output is represented as error. The error is depends on the actual output that we have obtained. So error function is depend on the OJK, but this OJK is depends on a nonlinear function that we apply on the summation value. So since the nonlinear function is of the form 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus theta jk, so the OJK depends on theta jk. Okay, so it depends on the theta jk, where theta jk depends on the Wij, and so we have to set up theta jk depends on Wij capital K. So since this capital E does not directly related to Wij, we have set up a chain rule. Now we will make use of this chain rule to take a derivative E with respect to Wij capital K. So this is called using chain rule. Okay, this we have obtained using chain rule. Now let us see how do we take this. So simply dou E by dou Oj, okay, dou E by dou Oj is nothing but Ojk minus Tj, and then if we take a derivative, this two get cancelled, and what we have obtained from this is summation of j equal to 1 to m capital K. So this 2 will get cancelled, and what is left is Ojk minus Tj. This is the derivative E with respect to Ojk. Now let us take derivative of Ojk with respect to theta jk. Now recall that Ojk is nothing but the sigmoidal function. If we take a derivative of a sigmoidal function, what we will get is 1 minus. So we will make use of the value sigma s. Now you recall that if you take a derivative, sigma s can be written partial derivative sigma s 1 minus sigma s. So this is the derivative result. That result we will make use of here. Now Ojk is in the form of sigmoidal function. So we can rewrite this as the derivative form as Ojk 1 minus Ojk. Okay, this is simply a derivative function, and we have seen if we take a derivative of a sigmoidal function, we will get something like this: sigma s multiplied by 1 minus sigma s, that I have discussed in the PPT. So now this we will make use of here, because Ojk is nothing but the in the form of sigmoidal function. So we can rewrite, when we take a derivative of the sigmoidal function, we can rewrite this Ojk multiplied by 1 minus Ojk. And what is left out? Take a derivative theta jk with respect to wjk. Now here, when we take a derivative this form with respect to wij, what is left is oi capital K minus 1. So now we can write O subscript I capital K minus 1. So this is the result of the derivative of this term. Now I can simply rewrite wij, and if I replace this whole term, okay, this whole term as del j capital K, this is capital K, okay. So I can write dou E by dou Wij as del jk multiplied by oi k minus 1, capital K minus 1 from this. Okay, so this is my error function that we have obtained. Now use this error function in order to update the weight as we did in the perceptron learning algorithm. So now let us go for the weight updation rule. So the weight updation rule, for this we can go, okay, weight updation between what? Weight updation between capital K to the previous layer, between capital K minus 1th layer. Okay, so we are updating the weight at the output layer, or we can say between K to, we are back propagate the effect of error function to the previous layer by taking the derivative of the error function. So the weight updation between capital K is the output layer and the previous layer, which is capital K minus 1th layer, can be written as previously the weight vector, weight value Wij capital K, okay, and the new weight can go the old value Wij, let's say this is new, this is old, minus eta times, this is the learning rate, dou E by dou Wij capital K. Okay, now jk can be rewrite as Wij minus eta times this dou E by dou Wjk can be rewrite as del j capital K Oi k minus 1. So we can simply write that del j capital K into capital Oi k minus 1. So this is the weight updation rule at the output layer. And use this weight updation rule for every iteration until all the samples are correctly classified. Now in the next lecture, let us discuss what is the procedure to update the weights at the hidden layer. Thank you.